Hey guys, ETN Sunday from Sunbros, and today we are going to be talking about top 5 tanks. Coming in at number 5 is the fat man himself, the guy that everyone knows and loves, and everyone just gets a big old smile on their face when they get hooked by him. It is Grack. Even though Grack comes in solidly at number 5 on our top 5 best tanks list, he comes in really good at number 2 on the ugliest mother effers in the game list. He very narrowly misses out on that number 1 spot to Xanus because nobody's willing to look past how ugly Xanus' gameplay is.
Look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
But the reason why Grack comes in at number 5 on our top 5 best tanks list is because number 1, he's a very solid damage sponge, and when he's built properly all tank, he can actually take a surprisingly lot of damage. Number 2, Grack's second ability, Devil's Chain, his hook, is not only effective at roping people into their death, but it's also one of the most intimidating abilities in the game. The fact of the matter is that when there's a good Grack on the other team, you're always aware and watching out for that hook to make sure you don't get pulled into your death. And as if that wasn't enough, we still have to deal with the terrifying realization that Grack still has his incredible ult World Devour, which means if you get anywhere near him, no matter how many of you there is, Grack can ult you and pull all y'all suckers into your death. And if you're a squishy, you might as well go to the store and try to figure out which item you want to buy next, because you're as good as dead. And coming in at number 4 is none other than the gold man himself, Gilder. And even though his passive, Midas Touch, sounds more like a massage parlor's name than an ability wielded by the 4th best tank in all of Arena of Valor, I can promise you that running into a really good enemy Gilder won't leave you feeling all nice and relaxed like you just got a nice deep tissue massage. Gilder can get really tanky and very hard to kill, and it doesn't help matters the fact that his passive gives him a shield every time he casts an ability, which just seems ridiculous. Then you give him a knockback from his passive, Midas Touch, you give him one of the longest AoE stuns in the game and his second ability Extravagant, and of course you give him an ultimate that can literally ruin an entire team's night, and there's no wonder as to why Gilder made it to the number 4 spot on the top 5 best tanks. And coming in at number 3 is Mina, and for those of you who played in the Euro server, this will come as big of a surprise to you as it did me. I didn't really feel that she was much of a threat in the Euro server, but in NA, I can't get away from this chick. And yeah, I get it, Wukong's a pretty sexy monkey, but come on. Seriously though, Mina for me is arguably one of the tankiest, hardest to kill tanks in the game. She seems to just take the biggest beating and just doesn't die. And that's heavily due to her ultimate, Dark Dominion, which causes her to taunt enemies and get reduced damage by those taunted enemies by 50%. Now her really solid crowd control comes from her second ability, Death Scythe, which pulls all enemies in front of her to her and reduces their movement speed by 50%, which is one of the better crowd control abilities in the game, and I swear to you, it seems twice as long as it was in the EU server. I don't know why, but that thing is way more effective. And then of course the ultimate we just talked about, which gives this taunt that taunts you for 2 whole seconds. You literally can't do anything, then do no damage to her while the rest of her team is nuking you down to death. And coming in at number 2 of the top 5 best tanks in all of Arena of Valor is none other than Thane, who I feel like probably wrote the book on tanking, as his name is literally Thane the Protector. With the exception of Grack's hook, Thane's first ability, Valiant Charge, is probably the largest enemy dislodge ability of the game. The difference being that Thane can do Valiant Charge to as many enemy heroes as he can get in that zone. Valiant Charge also serves as one of the most solid peeling abilities in the game, as Thane does a really great job of protecting his teammates. You combine that with Thane's second ability, Avalanche Fury, Thane strikes the ground, dealing damage and knocking enemies into the air, following that up with a 90% movement slow for 2 seconds, which is extremely substantial. When you combine these two abilities, it gives Thane one of the longest chains of crowd control the game has to offer. Additionally, killing Thane is one of the most difficult things in this game, as he seems to be able to take damage forever and ever. And just when you think you're going to be able to kill Thane, his passive kicks in Royal Power, which gives him 24% of his maximum HP when it falls below 30%. When you add all these ingredients together, and what you get is a phenomenal tank who's a damage sponge, has a ton of AoE crowd control, is a great frontliner, because he's incredibly good at disrupting the enemy team's plans and causing some big time distractions. And coming in at the number 1 spot is Senor Sushi himself, Crashed. Our friendly neighborhood sea monster is blessed with an incredible easy button in the form of his ult. When Crash ults, he becomes a giant sea creature that gets a massive shield, making him virtually unkillable while gaining a movement speed and a passive that makes all his abilities in his ult form cause a slow. While Crash isn't the strongest outside of his ult, he does have a jump that causes him and friendly heroes around him to receive a shield, as well as a solid knockback to help him gain time in order to get back into his ult form. But let there be no mistake, when Crash is in his ult form, he is hands down the most disruptive, distraction, frontline, damage sponge, AoE crowd control maniac that there is in this game. And that's what gets him to be the number 1 tank out of our top 5 best tanks in Arena of Valor. And that's it for this one, guys. And just to wrap up, coming in at number 5, we have Grack. Coming in at number 4, we have Gilder. Coming in at number 3, Mina. Number 2 is Thane, and coming in at number 1 of our top 5 best tanks in Arena of Valor is none other than Crashed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course check out our other top 5 videos, our brand new How to Play Arena of Valor video playlist, and of course our Beginner's Hero quick look videos to gain more information about these videos and others. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, till next time.